Hey you guys, it's Terribly Bland Gaming, but you can call me TB, and I'm here with the very first of my weekly series, Let's Kickstart, where I'm going to feature a different game that's currently available on Kickstarter and is still open for funding that I think you guys should throw your money at. The very first game we're going to take a look at is Loop. It's a puzzle game that's coming out for PC, Mac, and Linux, and there's still about a week left for you guys to fund it. Funding stops on October 2nd. It's being done by John Cullen. You can follow him on Twitter at JCVSMC, and you can also follow the game itself at Loop the Game. Currently, it is completely funded. However, there's a stretch goal that's still waiting to be reached that's going to unload more background textures for the game. The demo itself includes 6 different levels that you can flip through, but the full entire game is going to actually have 100 levels for you guys to play. Hopefully the game will be out in December, but if it's not ready by then, backers will actually receive a beta version of what's complete at that point, and then the full game once it's finished. I immediately like the fact that with this game, it doesn't have to give you any instructions. You can tell that you need to make the full loop. The name alone and the graphics tell you that. And controls themselves are just as easy as clicking one and swapping it with the next one you click. I also like the steady increase of difficulty in the level design. The very first one is just a single color and a single loop. The second one introduces us to these new knotted pieces. We also get to see the introduction of a second color. So very slowly it's just going to increase the difficulty. As soon as we get to the third level, it's of course going to introduce a third color and a few more knots into things. So again, just that slow burn. There is no score system involved with the game. There are no time limits. It's meant to simply be a soothing experience. A part of the money is actually going to be used to get the game greenlit on Steam, and eventually John, the creator, would like to bring it to tablet and phone. And I think that the mobile environment is actually going to be where this game really succeeds. The soothing atmosphere, it's just enough to take you into a different world, a tiny little break from what you're doing. And then here in the fourth level, it actually introduces one more mechanic, and this is probably the last mechanic that we actually see in the demo that's currently available for Kickstarter, the small piece in the center. The game doesn't have to have a tutorial screen to teach you how to use this new piece it just introduced. Instead, just simply through the arrows and the highlighted color on the arrows as soon as you float over it, we immediately know that as soon as we click it right here, it's going to rotate in that direction. I love games that are intuitive and teach you without saying a word exactly how to use the new mechanics. If you take a peek at the Kickstarter campaign, you'll see that the origin for the aesthetic of the game actually comes from some artwork that John did a while ago, which I'll show you right here. And those are the kind of details that I love hearing about from game creators. It's interesting how a simple piece of artwork can actually develop into a whole entire game if you think out of the box a little bit. The music and sound effect choices that he's made for the game so far have been spot on. Everything's very soothing, and if you take a look at the credits page he has posted, you can actually see that the rain overlay on the song he picked is actually recorded from his very own backyard, which I thought was a nice little tidbit to include for everyone. The Kickstarter page also introduces us to some other hexagon pieces that you'll see later on in the game, such as a mystery piece that you won't actually get to see what the piece looks like until you've completed the puzzle as a whole. So despite the fact that we only see 6 levels on this demo, it's easy to see that he'll continue fueling the slow difficulty increase throughout the 100 planned levels for the game. I think nowadays these types of small leveled puzzle games are very much dominated by the play-to-play and energy level environment or a certain level of competition. I like seeing a logic and puzzle game that goes back to the roots of the genre, that is simply meant for you to sit down and exercise your brain a little bit and have a relaxing experience, and everything John's done here caters exactly to that. The music is perfect, the aesthetic is fantastic, the small sound effects are relaxing. Every design choice that John has made so far is spot on for me, and I can't wait to see what else he does. He's also working on releasing a colorblind mode with the game as well. If you guys are interested in taking your own stab at the 6 levels that are currently available, there is a demo that you can download straight from the Kickstarter page, and there you can also read some of the press reviews that have been released for everyone who's played the game so far. If you're interested in receiving a full copy of the game when it's released, it requires a minimum pledge of £3 or $5. That gets you a copy of the game and some desktop wallpapers. A £6 or $10 donation will also get your name into the credits of the game, and a £12 or $20 donation gets you an exclusive Kickstarter thank you card as well. Of course, if you're interested, you can always donate more. So let's kickstart Loop!